each instrument has its own personality and its own
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
And I just, you're a guy who's toured with so many different violins and continues to tour with a bunch of different
Yeah.
violins. So, yeah, talk about how you sort of find the personality in each one and how you go from playing a Viper to playing a YEV to playing a 3D Various to playing a Glasser, and how do you sort of keep all those different sounds in your head from fighting with each other?
You said it correctly. I mean, I like color and I like variety. And I have a guitarist complex. I want to have like guitarists. I tell people it's a double standard with violinists. We're expected to have one instrument. With my own band, with Jesus Florido, with Heading North and stuff, I have three violins for that. I have a Viper, and I have my SV, and I have an acoustic. So I have three different sounds because uh, different pickups give you different sounds even with the same settings.
Mm.
But yeah, more colors, more flavors. Um, I had also this discussion with Jean-Luc Ponty back in 2001. Um, we met. We happened to coincide in Chicago, and he was playing at the House of Blues, and we're talking. So I went to him. I've known him for a long, long, long time, and I went to him for advice on my first solo record. This is when I was even thinking of writing Heading North. And then he gave me a piece of advice that I never forgot. And he said, if you're going to be a diverse violinist like you are, make sure you play on several instruments so you don't get stereotyped. But yeah, it's about color and not having the same sound for everything. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I get bored easily, even with sounds like that. And to me, because I grew up, I'm an older guy, still hunted by the classical sound and not having that many choices. I want to have the choices. I want to have the flavors. I, I I enjoy that very much. I cannot eat the same food every day. It's like violinists are creatures of habit.
Right. And the
So
thing is, like, your playing style is going to come through on each one of them. So
it
that's going to
doesn't
hold the
matter
thing
exactly.
together.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier with your signature. Your signature licks are there.
Mm-hmm.
You can still see that it's me. It's me playing it. I'm just, you know, more spicy or more dreamy. That's my favorite. You sound so dreamy when I have all this lush. There was a period there I was into this big lush sounds and stuff, but it's still the same hand. This in the
Right.
same bow. Those are signatures. Those are your staples.
Well, I think
Um,
too, at some point, like people, they hear this one sound for so long, and they get stuck in their head, and they think, well, this is the only good sound. And you go,
oh
no, there's
yeah,
there's a huge window of
yeah,
good sounds. Like
yes,
this violin sounds different from this one than from this one, but they're all still in that window of good.
yes,
So if you've been playing one instrument for 20 years and you pick up another one, you can't try to make this violin sound like this one.
yes.
They won't. You can't make them
They,
sound like each other.
no,
You just have to embrace the good pieces of this one for what it is
yeah,
and just make it work.
yeah,
And
and
the thing is, like, you get the same. I'm from Detroit, so we use car analogies.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
you'll be driving a car for 5 years, and you sort of didn't notice that it started to get this little rattle in the back, and the seats
yeah,
start to get a little mushy. And
yeah,
then you trade it in a new one, and man, the new one just doesn't feel like home, right? Oh,
yeah,
I don't know, man. This doesn't feel like my old car. It doesn't feel. And you drive it for a month, and all of a sudden you're starting to get used to that new one.
yeah.
And you go get in your old car again, and you're like, "What's wrong with this hoopty man? I can't believe I drove this for 5 years." So sometimes
I'm
I
going
think
through that. I'm
people
going through that right now.
they get
Like,
comfortable with a thing for a while, and it makes them forget that, like, you actually can experiment and you can have different things and they're still good.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Life's too short, man. Life's too short. Try new things. I can't wait for the new 3D variants to come and see how that bridge is gonna react to my settings. You know, that's a whole new kind of warmth.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
So
about that. You're forever trying new instruments. So what is
yes,
your process when you get a new instrument in? How do you sort of get acquainted with it and then sort of find aspects of that tone that you like?
I think Laurent has done an incredible. I've developed a really good sound with it,
Hmm.
and that inspired me to say, okay, this is I want to go this direction. You know, um, and so when I get it, most likely it will take me a good few months. I will say probably 6 months before I play it in public, just because obviously I'm a professional. When I put something out, has I'm very picky. You know, it has to be really good, or at least to me, it has to be good to me. So I will say a few months, 3, 4 months before, you know, I run it through my Helix. I develop sounds for it. I see how it's gonna fit on my new record because that violin is coming for a specific record. Um, and that's it. You know, I have different violins on different records, and you know me, I play so many different styles. I need to get my fingers on many things, and that's why I have violins specifically for this or that. You know, and I played it for the first time, and the first thing that impressed me was how strong the signal was.
They're hot.
You know, they're hot. You know, and that's a huge, very important thing because when I remember my first Marcus Berry, that little tiny sound, I have to do so much to it to get half the sound. So well, how far, and I'm so excited about where electric violins are going, man. It's like it gets better and better, and pedals get better, and finally, I didn't think I lived long enough to see that. You know, I'm really excited every time you post any of it. You shouldn't allow me in your store next time I go because I'm gonna walk away with 2, 3 fiddles out of there, just because I want to try that and I want to try that, and you know.
See, guitar players
So
don't get to have all the fun.
exactly, why do they have? It's like I was jealous for many years of how much fun, and not now I'm not.